Hey everybody. I actually have one person watching. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I didn't really announce this or anything. I've got a migraine, but I really need to get this finished, so I'm going to work on it. I did get it cut to the right length at work, so now I need to do some minor tweaks, drill some holes, tap some stuff, glue some stuff, and drill out some stuff. So I'm going to get started on that. Hey Joyce, nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. Um, so I may not be talking as much because I've taken some pain medicine, but I'm reasonably functional. I had a stealth migraine today. I didn't really notice the onset. It was like, maybe that's an onset, but no, it's not really developing. And then about 2 hours later, the headache kicked in. Thought it was a caffeine withdrawal type thing. And then about an hour or two later, it's like, nah, this is a migraine. So I got my constable stuff done for the day, so I'm good until like about close to 10 o'clock tonight. So I've got about just under 2 hours. I'm going to get done when I can. If I can get it done all the way, I will be very, very happy. So thank you for joining the stream, and thank you for helping me uh, marshal my motivation to get this project done. So I'm going to get started on that. I will try and check the chat every so often. I will try and mute if I'm going to do anything really loud so I don't damage your ears. And let's get going. I have my standard and my metric crescent wrenches. So, okay, so first thing on my agenda, I need to shim up the gear so that it stays at the right height so that the mechanism will work properly. And I want to have a little bit of lubrication so it doesn't like chew into the PETG plastic. So this is what is called high density polyethylene, HDPE. It cuts and machines really, really nicely. So I'm just going to take the washer, trace it out, and then cut it out. Probably two of them, if to make sure I got a good height, make sure that it moves smoothly, and then I can start working from there. And this is why I always carry at least two Sharpies with me. I have a fine point and a broader point. So, oops. Keep that from moving while I trace this. No, I broke it. There we go. Snips I picked up. Another nice thing about high density as well as UHMW is they're both kind of slippery plastics. So it's they work well as kind of like self-lubricating bearing surfaces for like not overly demanding stuff. Anything that's highly abrasive, it's not going to last long. But for something that isn't going to get a lot of use, but you want to have it be a little less abrasive and just material to material contact. This makes a nice buffer in between. All right. Not the greatest cutter, but and how do I want to do this? How big is this actually? Digital calipers are really handy for stuff like this. Okay, so it's 5/8 there. Actually, let's zero this out. I think that might not have been on 0. Okay, it's 8. It's closer to just under 7/8. So 5/8 to 3/4 ought to work pretty good. Let's see. Check the drill press. How large that hole is, if I can. Okay, so I can do at least 7/8 drill without hitting the edges. Let's see if I got a drill that'll do it. "30 years of gathering tools together, you tend to actually have what you need." Okay, so this is a 3/4 inch drill with a 1/2 inch shaft. I have a 1/2 inch chuck. Okay, let me catch up with this real quick. Sorry about that. Thank you very much. I don't remember seeing you on the stream before, but welcome to the stream. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. And no worries about popping in and out. This is highly informal tonight. Probably, but at the rate this is likely to be used, it might be 20 or 30 years before they need to be swapped out, because it's only going to get used 2 weeks a year, and it's going to have a reasonable amount of cranking time, but I can't see it wearing out in anything less than like 5 to 8 years minimum at the rate it's going to get it. Hello, Nana, nice to meet you, or nice to have you on again. Okay, no worries on lurking. I appreciate everybody who comes and watches the streams. You guys help me out. Get it to where like YouTube is more likely to think that I'm worthy to watch. All right, let's see if I can clamp this down in a manner that doesn't mess things up. Let's see. I can't quite do it by hand. Let's see if I put the chuck key for the. Ah, there it is. Usually is within arm's reach. And I think I'll just use a piece of wood and clamps on each end. Doesn't need to be entirely over it. And if it gets ripped out, if I'm not holding onto it directly, it's light enough that even if it hits me right in the face, it's not going to cause a major problem. And this clamp has a nice deep throat on it. Not that type of deep throat. Okay. There we go. That feels reasonably secure. And it's reasonably centered. hole, so I shouldn't have any issues. Helps if I open the chuck, not close it. All right, it's a 1/2 inch, so I'll have to get it open almost all the way since it's a 1/2 inch chuck. There we go. All right, and I also started the AC out here about an hour before I came out, and even though I'm not feeling that great, the weather's not too bad either. So, all right, so should be right over the center here, as long as it's lined up axially. The radial distance. I'm pretty sure I didn't use those words exactly correctly. It should definitely go through the hole. All right, let's see if this works. Just use gentle pressure. I don't have to really force it. It's soft material. I've lined up pretty good, outside to inside. It's mostly cut through. And there we go. That actually worked out a little better than I expected, so the second one should go nice and quickly too. So, got a little thing on there. This is where the deburring tool really comes in nice. I'll just snip the hanging portion. So you can see like the crud on that. Pop the worst of it off and rotation here. It's a little bit more pressure than I was doing. There we go. Nice and clean. All right, let's see if this is enough height. I think it'll need another one. Actually, yeah, no, I think the one will do. All right, let's see if this was the hand crank I got. Let's see if this will fit on here and work the way I want it to. I'm going to need some sort of extension on this to get it to. It sits too close, especially with that. My screw doesn't go quite long enough. So what I can probably do is I can probably take some rod that is the right size and thread it with a 5/8 tap. I'll probably have to do that at work just because that's where I can get the plastic without too much issue. Set screw should hold it. Yeah, that'll work pretty good. I can't do it now, but I can get it done before I go, and I can get it done on my lunch at work. So that'll be a good there. All right. So I'm just going to do a quick check to make sure that the gearing mechanism sounds like it's working the way it's supposed to, and that it's not engaging properly. All right, so let's line it up to where I'm actually able to see the zeros. All right, so actually that might be because I've got it on a torque limiter. Let's try that might be the issue. Let's try this again. Okay. I think that went a little too far. I mean, a little too much pressure, but I got like 200 there in less than a minute. So should be get the, actually, let me go ahead and use the pin to help keep it from twisting too easily. Let's try this again. Let's go backwards. Okay, I think that might be an alignment issue where there's a bit of an angle on that, where I'm not getting it lined up exactly axially correct. Make sure these are tight the way they're supposed to be. Yeah, it kind of wobbles a bit, so if it's angled too far, let's see how well it works with the hand crank. Let's go. Not really happy with that exactly. I mean, it works, but we won't be able to do too fast of a drive. I'll have to be careful. I'm gonna see if it'll work with this real quick. So, without the wood cover in place, so that it'll fit properly. If I had a longer set screw here, it'd probably work a bit better. Let's see. I think I will do another one, but I'll have a larger hole so that the center of the gear can get up. But let's see if this will work. Yeah, that's gonna need some sort of sleeve adapter. It's not working. It'll work well without it. Okay, so let's make another one of these. Cut it out, drill it, and then enlarge the hole a little bit. Right there, that'll be easier to use. Oops. Okay, sorry. And ready. Out the Sharpie. Slippery enough, it's hard to hold the washer in place while I draw. Alrighty. Apparently have a case of dropsy. Once I get back from vacation, one of the things I'm going to want to do is use the CNC router here more for its intended purpose and do more 3D carves and the like. All right. Let's see if I can't get a nice clean cut on the edge here. I'm thinking that if I can get the washer to keep it enough tension that it's not wiggling back and forth, that'll help resolve the binding issue. And high density polyethylene is recyclable. The annoying thing, though, is my work has been having to work really hard to try and find places that will actually take our clearly recyclable plastics when we've got scrap, which is really frustrating because that means that even though it's recyclable, apparently people don't make enough money off of it that they're able to stay in business doing that. Even with the prices of everything going through the roof these days. That went a little easier with more pressure. Now that I'm comfortable with the clamp method, holding it well enough. All right, let's loosen this up. Okay. I'd actually get a fairly clean punch through, but I'm going to use this to increase the size. Let's see. Basically, I'm just looping around, alternating as the angle changes. This should keep me relatively uniform, though it will wobble a bit. Let's see, is that enough? Nope, needs to be a bit wider. Okay. Not quite, but getting there. Taking a little slower and kind of carving it. It's not as circular anymore. I'm getting some highs and lows, but I am removing material reasonably well. Wondering if maybe a larger piece would work better, because I'm not going to have all that much of a ring on the edge. But as long as it provides enough lift, it should be okay. All right, let's see. It's getting closer. One of the nice things about working with this is it doesn't really have all that sharp of an edge. And what it does have is kind of shielded by the hook. So you can cut yourself with this, but you kind of have to work at it. And you tend not to get overly deep cuts. But when you do get them, they are still annoyingly painful, like paper cuts. Let's see. If I remember right, I've only really cut myself like once or twice on these, and it wasn't that bad. I'm at the point where I might try and use the scissors. Nah, that's not gonna. No. Provides some cutting force, but I don't like the angle of attack. The reason I'm working on this right now is because hopefully in about a half hour, 45 minutes, I'll actually be able to get that mostly boxed up. And well, I still have to cut the window in it, so I guess I'm not quite that far along with it yet. But actually have a relatively few number of steps left to go before it's done. Let's see. Now, good news for those that were paying attention to my father having a TBI and needing to be in the hospital. It looks like they're going to be able to send him home soon. He's doing well enough in rehab for his physical stuff, but they're going to need to have like a occupational therapist and speech therapist work with him when he's at home. He's still got some issues with the TBI and has work that he needs to do, but if he can keep up with it, his prognosis looks very good. So that makes me happy. My father lives on the other side of the country from where I do. I want to be able to have at least a few more visits with him. I do keep in close contact with my folks, and we do talk on the phone a fair amount. So, all right, so we're getting there. Let's see if that's enough. I think I need a little bit more. Not much though. I'm almost there. Getting to the point though where I'm going to start bumping into my fingers blade. There's not that much material left. So gotta be careful how I hold on to it. Okay. That side and that side. All right, let's see if this works. Oh, let me catch up with the chat here. Thank you very much. I did let him know that people who were watching me were thinking and praying about him. He was very appreciative for that. All right. Just a little bit more. Let's see. Tomorrow is going to be a fun day. It's my last allergy shot before going on vacation. Not that they've been that bad, but the shot themselves are not all that pleasant, and it gets warm and kind of swollen at the spot for a few hours. So still tons better than having allergies that start in February and don't fade till November, which is what I used to have. All right. That's still reasonably centered. All right, that's got it. All right. So So I'm gonna see if I can't get this really snug. Okay, that's the right one. Whoops, I just realized I need the metal washer on top. Otherwise the nut will mash into the plastic and chew it up really quickly. All right, so. Okay, too tight and it won't turn easily. Okay, that does turn there relatively smoothly. Let's see if this works. Okay, they shouldn't be shifting around much at this point. Okay, so Hmm. Looks like part of the issue is that these move around. So alright, so that is too tight. So we will trick when using two crescent wrenches. If you get them like this, you can brace them against each other and loosen them up much easier. All right, so let's do a little bit more that way. There we go. Also works for tightening. There we go. All right, so I think that's still a little too tight. So I'm going to leave that there. This is a slightly smaller crescent wrench, so let's loosen that up a little bit. Move this here, tighten it. All right, that moves much easier. Let's just give this a try in this orientation. And let's see if I use the pen or pen follow the floor. Okay. Alrighty. Let's be a little extra secure with this by don't want to make it overly tight, but that should see if it works this way. All so that's too tight. That's a little better. All right, so I've got a little space in the length of the box, so it should be okay. Yeah, that looks better. All right, let's see if this works or not. Okay. Okay, that's better. Okay, some of that I think was due to the washer resting in the hole. Okay, that's yeah, so if that's the case. Let me set this like that. Okay. That's working reasonably well. At least with an Allen wrench, they can go ahead and run this at a respectable rate. All right, so starting at 0. Let's see. I don't have to have this, so if it doesn't work this way, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I think the issue is this just runs too fast. I'm gonna give up on that for the moment, and we'll just figure on using something like this. Okay, or the hand crank. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that the ends here are reasonably tight. Now, okay. Those jam nuts are together, and so that does work. Not overly binding. A little bit. Okay, so this is the end that's going to be open. This is the end that's going to be closed. So that way, grab all right, I had a little cardboard box that had more of those pins in it. That's not a box. So, apologize while I hunt things. Oh, let me catch up here. Sorry. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Okay. There we go. Box of pins. Okay. So let's see if we can't. And lose the pin again. All right, I'm just not going to worry about it. Okay, it's there. I'm going to try and do a variation of what I did with the other one. Set that pin there. And okay, that's so that's reasonably good there. Reasonably good there. Let's see. Okay. And that in the center there. And yep, that's the right drill. Okay. All right. That's in check. Leave that heavy of a clamp. All right, so just line this up with the brad point with the set hole. There we go. Clamp that down, but not super tight. That helps if I don't try and clamp through a slot in the button. Okay, it's not entirely tight, and we are still on, so let's finish tightening that up. There we go. Put a keeper on this. And let's see, oops. I did it on the wrong side. So now I can paint over it. All right, so that's lined up there. All right. So let's line up top to bottom. I will go ahead and draw there. And draw there. And now these lines should, whoops, does he there? Cut on. All right, so a little, I'll line up a little better, but this should work here. I'm going to go ahead and mute this so that you guys don't get your ears blasted out by the miter saw. Sorry, I just realized you folks couldn't hear me. Let me go ahead and put on a little bit of background music for you folks too. Let's try daydreaming. All right. Okay, so alright, this is flush. My locator pin is right here. Marked how deep it's going to be, which is where I'm going to epoxy the magnets in. But I will do a quick circle around here. Okay. And the wood is about 3/4 thick, so do just a little bit extra because I know it's not exactly straight. And all right, so what I'm doing here is I'm marking where I need to have some pieces of wood to provide support for it while it's to keep the ends from moving around as it's being used, and just keep the orientations good. That's good on that side, so just a quick one here, and there, and there. Okay, so since this end is going to be kind of permanently attached on the other end, so I've got the edge marked that I can't go beyond because it's going to hit the wall, and then the interior edge looks like there's not a whole lot of room, so I just need a little bit of wood glued in each of these spots to hold it in place, and then I'll do like a screw on each one. So. So top and bottom. Let's see how far is that going. So a little less than 1/2 inch is what I need. Actually, these look like they'll work great. So I'm just going to cut a couple of sections off of here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to glue these in place. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now, let's see. Just set this out of the way so it doesn't get damaged or knocked over. Alrighty. So we'll do the same thing on here. This isn't going to be perfect. I'm just trying to make sure the box isn't too awkward. And let's mark the point on this one too. The reason I'm marking where the pin goes is I'm going to epoxy some magnets in there so that it'll hold the pin in place. It won't fall out on its own. It's not going to really provide any load support. It's just going to keep it from, easily falling out. All right, I'm not even going to worry about marking that up. I'm just going to, well, I got to cut the edges first, so. Okay. Now, turn the mute on so your ears are okay. Okay, that should be it for the soft for a little bit. I hope it'll look nice when it's done. That's the intention. All right. These are the magnets. As you can see, it should hold fairly well. All right, so let's do about 5 of each. Go. So this one is also going to get set aside for right now. I guess I'm not going to put the ends on together, but I'm also getting far enough. I can do a little bit each day and it should get done in time. So I'm going to go ahead and epoxy the magnets in to the grooves. That'll set up overnight. These will set up overnight. Then let's see, what was I thinking I had to do at work tomorrow? I don't remember what it was that needed to be done. Probably what I can also do is I can at least start the window so I can see what the number's in and figure out how much I need to open it up later and get that at least started, so that'll get me close there tonight. Let's see, it's 9:30. Okay, I should have a little bit of time for that. So once this is in place, I can groove. Oh, that was what I need to do. I need the 5/8 11 set screw and that. I can get the right size rod. I can drill. Okay, so that's going to work tomorrow. Right. So alright, so the wood pieces are in place. I don't think I'm going to screw through them just because I don't have long enough screws. Actually, I might. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I've got enough of these screws. I just need to drill a pilot hole for them. Let's see, they're number 8, so I can, well, these are hardwood, so 1/8 inch, I think. Let's see. What size was this? Calipers. All right, so that's 3/32. Okay, so I've got a 1/8 inch there. I can drill that in, screw those in. Okay, so yeah, I can screw those in, and give them a little more support. And what else I need to do tonight? Okay, so I need the epoxy. In addition to taking notes, pads like this are great for mixing up small batches of epoxy. You just tear off a couple pages when you're done. All right. So I'll mix them here. And then take it over and apply it. Right, so try and mix roughly equal portions. There we go, that's roughly equal. Parts that aren't shouldn't interfere too much with the hardening. All right, let's mix this up. Just basically stirring this to make sure it's uniform, or at least reasonably well mixed. Resin and hardener, resin and hardener. Since it's relatively cool in here, it shouldn't harden up too fast on me. I think this is half-hour set. No, 5-minute set. Okay. All right. Let's see. And where did I put the magnets? I can't spend too much time looking for them, or I'm going to have it harden up. Okay. Okay. So 5 on each. Doesn't matter polarity because they're not going to be close enough to affect each other. Right. So I'm going to set these on these screws so they aren't jumping into each other. Oops. make sure it doesn't go far enough to interfere with the mechanism, but enough that it'll hold. And since this portion isn't going to be seen, I'm not too worried about it, though I will try and clean up the excess. All right. So I'm just going to take and push this with a non-metallic item to get it to where it's supposed to be. And I hope that doesn't go on that mechanism. I don't think it will. Maybe I'll just have a little bit on that surface there. So just gently move these in place. And let's see. Just spin them a little bit so they got a good coating on them. Right. Don't want it to just pop off. That looks like I got 6 on one side and 5 on the other. Okay. So I had 11, not 10. Okay. And paper towel. Out. Paper towel. So theoretically, when the epoxy hardens up, it will have those firmly in place. The pins won't quite touch, but they'll be close enough that the magnetic attraction will keep it from falling out on its own. Worst case scenario, I can add an extra magnet in to if it needs to actually physically contact it. Let's see, what else do I need to do tonight? Right, so they're drying there. I need 5/8 and that. So I think I had pick it up. Well, no, I don't actually need the set screw. All I need is the plastic and the tap. So I'm pretty sure I have a 5/8 11 tap here. So we'll look for that real quick. Getting to the point where I'm probably going to wrap it up for the night. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to know or chat about? I'm hoping I will be able to finish warping up the Takonite tomorrow. That is my goal. So I'm going to try and get it to where the stuff for this is taken care of very quickly, and I'm not spending a lot of time on it. All right, so I better put the taps in their proper place. So let me look if that's where they are. 5/8 11 tap and tap guide. Let's see. Nope, that's not the right one for that. Let me find if the holder's there, because taps are kind of sharp and I don't want to get cut. Okay, apparently it did not come with a holder if I remember right, but I think this is large enough. Yes, it is. All right, so this goes in here. Actually, we do it that way. All right, so these go with me to work tomorrow. And the tap wrench. Okay. I also need to clean up my car tomorrow night because we're starting to pack Thursday, so my car needs to be clean. So I'll have to do that. I might have to push the finished working of the Takadai till Friday, which is cutting it close. But I can probably do that during the day because I'm not working Friday. My wife is working. We're packing Thursday night. I might have to take her car to get a couple of her tires replaced. But I should have plenty of time to do a live stream, though it's probably going to be fairly early. Finish getting it worked up and maybe once through the pattern. All right, so further behind than I'd like to be, but still within potentially goal time frame. Easy to go in the house because I have to finish cutting down the spools. Am I forgetting anything? Let's see, trying to think what else there was. Okay, let's put these away. I don't like to leave these too close open to get, well, they're not really open, but I've had epoxy harden up when they, if fumes from one can get to the other and just start catalyzing it. So, admittedly, it was a long time in storage, but it did. So I got bins that go in that are separate that aren't exactly airtight, but there's not a lot of air movement. So, let's see. Oh, no problem. I'm happy to do so. That's kind of my goal that I want to do is I want to be able to share stuff that I've learned that I think is neat and I think other people think is neat. So that's kind of my theory on that. Sorry, not really in camera frame. All right, let's see. So tomorrow, drill and screw the permanent connections, drill the thread and attach the threaded inserts, and the screws for that. I need to cut open the window, that's right. Okay, so the all right, so this is 11 1/4. So five and 10 1/4, 6 1/4. All right, so there, and all right, so that's 4.5 inches in. So we'll do 6 inches in from this side. So let's do 7 inches just to be on the safe side. So there, and five, and 6 1/4. There we go. Shut a little bit, that should be okay. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna hand go this one. Just going to use a 1/2-inch spade bit. Just so I got enough. Know I have enough room for the saber saw. All right, so. Sorry, I should have muted. I apologize. All right. Let me mute real quick because I'm going to be using something else. Okay, we are unmuted. There we go. This is kind of rough. It's just so I have a window to get started on when I put it in. I can kind of mark up from the outer edges and kind of expand it out. Hey, Equality, nice to see you on. You're catching me at the tail end here. I'm just trying to make sure I get everything done tonight that I actually need to. I got most of the stuff done for the box. Measured stuff, you know, kind of fit it together, see how it's going. I still need to do like one thing at work to get the hand crank mechanism to work properly. And once that's done, I can kind of assemble it all together, make sure it works, and then I'll worry about painting it once I'm out at the event site. And I've got a friend out there who's going to help make legs for it, who's a lot more skilled at woodcrafting than I am. And let's see. All right, so I do that tomorrow. I'm going to try and get the Takadai finished warp tomorrow. but I need to get my car cleaned out because we're packing it up the day after tomorrow. But I think I've actually just got everything that I can get done tonight done. Basically, I'm waiting for glue to harden and epoxy to harden, and when I get home, I can kind of like put things together, screw in the end that needs to be a permanent attachment. The end that isn't a permanent attachment will have the threaded inserts put in, and then I can open up the window to where it needs to be, and I should be good to go. So I think we're good. All right, it's about 12 minutes to 10 o'clock. I have to be up at 4 a.m., so this is probably a good time as any to wrap it up. I appreciate everybody who came on. You got me motivated, and I'm making good progress. I'm just about where I need to be. I wanted to be a little bit further, but it's still, I've got my can get it done in time window open. So, all right. Stay safe and happy grading, everybody.